Kiev, close, intense fighting. We fear another strike is coming.
And tensions are on the rise in East Asia.
With the number of global conflicts on the rise and an election year right around the corner, this is a perfect time to stock up on some ammo. I'm going to show you what calibers I'm buying and why I'm buying them. So let me set the stage. So today is October 17th, 2023. The Russia-Ukraine war has been going on over a year and a half. Israel just invaded Gaza, and the Lake City ammunition plant that manufactures over 30% of the commercial production 5.56 was just taken offline for commercial sales. So right now is not the best time to buy ammo, but also it's not the worst time to buy ammo. So in just a year and 1 month, we're going to be having an election, and if history repeats itself, ammo prices, gun availability, ammo availability always is wacky during an election year. So now is the time to buy some ammo if you don't have enough stockpiled, or if you just want to get a good surplus with your range stock. Now is the time to do it. So I'm going to go over 3 main calibers that I would recommend to buy right now. And let's start off by going with 5.56. So it's no surprise, America's rifle is the AR-15, which feeds the 5.56 or 223 caliber. You can use either one of those in certain guns, just make sure with your particular gun. So it'd be a wise idea to buy some 5.56. Now, of the 3 that I'm going to talk about today, this is the most expensive variety of ammunition, 5.56. It's anywhere right now 45-50 cents a round. Just a few days ago, when the Lake City manufacturing plant was taken offline for commercial sales, the price went up about 4 to 5 cents a round just instantaneously, because that whole product line, all the availability that comes from that factory is just being used for military sales. Anyway, go and try to find some 5.56 right now. Probably be a wise idea. It's probably just going to go up in price, so that's what I'd recommend. Personally, I like to keep just 1,000 rounds that I don't touch. I just have stacked away. It'll always be there. I'll never touch it unless of an emergency or something like that. So, and then just anything on top of that depends on how much you shoot. So I don't shoot a ton of rifle every range trip. I like to shoot maybe 50, 60 rounds every time I go out. So I don't need, 10,000 rounds stocked up, because I shoot 1,000 rounds a month or anything like that. So, I'll probably try to make sure I have at least 2,000, 2,500 rounds on hand. But, 5.56, it's America's rifle. The ammunition probably will never be not available. It may be hard to find sometimes, overpriced, but you should probably always be able to get it. So 5.56, #1 recommendation. All right, next up we have 9mm. So if the AR-15 is America's rifle, America's handgun caliber of choice would definitely be the 9mm. So, used to it was 45, the 1911, 2 world wars, all that kind of stuff, but nowadays it's the 9mm. You have all your Glock 19s, Glock 17s, your SIGs, Smith & Wessons, Canics, just even, I hate to say it, hopefully none of you own a Taurus, but just 9mm. It's just the king of self-defense pistols, pistol caliber carbines, just anything. So I love the 9mm. I don't have a pistol that's a semi-automatic pistol that's not a 9mm. I have 38 revolvers, but all of my pistols are 9mm. You can carry more ammunition compared to a 40 or a 45, faster follow-up shots. It's just, for me, and this is just for me personally, it's my caliber. So that's what I'm rolling with. So that makes it easy for me just buying 1 caliber of ammunition. I don't have to go, oh, I got a 40, well, I got a 45, I got a 357 SIG, I got to buy ammo for all these guns. But for me, I just have to buy 9mm. So 9mm, definitely the most popular handgun caliber in the US. So, it's readily available, but still it's readily demanded. So, you know, supply and demand, there can be a lot of it, but if there's a lot of demand, you know, they might not be on the shelves all the time. So number 2, definitely stock up on some 9mm. So lastly, we have the 22 long rifle. So before the AR-15 was even invented, we had the 22 long rifle. The 22 long rifle has been around 100 years to 110 years at this point. So there are a ton of 22 long rifle guns out in the wild, so to speak. Just like this suppressed 22 pistol that I have right here. This thing is just super fun to shoot. New shooters love to shoot this. It's quiet, it's not intimidating. You can get somebody comfortable shooting with the 22 pistol, suppressed even better. So the 22 is a caliber that I would definitely make sure I have a good stock on hand. And the good thing about 22 is it's really cheap compared to the 9mm and the 5.56. So right here we have a 500 round box. You know, typically 35, 40 bucks, just depends on where you live, availability at the time and all that kind of good stuff. But you can buy a lot of this for a good price. So, you know, personally, I'd like to keep 10,000 rounds of 22 on hand. It's a big number, but when you think about it, it's not that much. So say you're starting out, you have 0 22 ammunition. If you buy one box of 500 rounds, every week when you get paid, say you get paid every Friday, you go to your local sporting goods store and you buy one box of 500 rounds of 22. In just a few weeks, you'll have thousands and thousands of rounds on hand. So a 10,000 round goal is nothing in the grand scheme of things. If you buy a box every year, or every week for a year, you'll have what? 25,000 rounds of 22 ammo on hand. So it can add up very quickly. And like I said, it's fun to shoot. You can go to the range and shoot a whole box of this and not feel guilty about burning through $200–300 worth of ammunition. So 22 is an excellent caliber to keep on hand. Any ammo shortage or any times of uncertainty, usually the first thing to go is 22, because you know everybody's grandpa's got a 22 revolver in a drawer or a 22 lever action that they've had for 50, 60 years. So it's one of the first ones to go, but it's definitely a good one to keep on hand. So when we talk about having these calibers on hand, you know, most people think, oh, you got to have thousands of rounds of ammunition in your stockpile to be prepared because you're a prepper or you're a conspiracy theorist or something like that. And that's not really the case. I mean, there are definitely those guys that, you know, weigh 300 to 350 pounds that have probably 30,000 rounds of 5.56 in their basement, but they can't run half a mile without going into cardiac arrest. So there's definitely those types out there. But just for the average shooter like myself, and probably similar to you guys watching this video, you know, having 1,000, 2,000 rounds of ammunition on hand is really not that much. So when I go to the range with a 9mm and an AR-15, I'll probably shoot 100 to 200 rounds of 9mm and 50 to 60 rounds of AR. So, you know, if I do that 20 times, there goes my AR surplus. You know, I'm back to 0. And if I do that 20 times, my 1,000 rounds of pistol ammo is gone quicker than, you know, just like that. So, and here's another way to look at it. So when you buy this ammunition, whether you think about it this way or not, this is an investment. So when you buy this and you leave the store and you take it home, the value of this box of ammunition is going to go up or down depending on the times, the political climate, just all kinds of factors that go on throughout the country from year to year. So the last big ammo shortage was around 2020. You had all the factories shutting down due to COVID, and then you also had all of the peaceful protests that were going on, and people saw that they were not as peaceful as people thought. So they all went to buy guns and they went to buy ammo to feed those guns. So ammo was at peak demand and record low supply. So when you have high demand, low supply, obviously the prices go way up. So what I did was I took some of my surplus and I sold it to people on TaxSwap or any of the internet forums or pages or whatever. I sold some excess of my surplus. I kept my minimum of 1,000 rounds, and I sold stuff in addition to that, and profited quite nicely off of it. And there's this stigma of we're a Second Amendment community, we're gun owners, we got to look out for each other. I wasn't out there gouging people, selling 1,000 rounds of 5.56 for $2,000 or anything crazy like that. I'd sell, I can't remember, just 100 rounds of 9mm in boxes smaller than this, $50-$60, I can't remember, something like that. Online, I was selling it cheaper than online retailers, like the big ones where you go and buy in bulk and ship it to your house. I was just selling some additional surplus of mine so that when prices came down, I could take that money and buy more ammo with it. And I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't trying to gouge people. I was trying to make a little bit of money. And there's nothing wrong with profiting off of somebody's unpreparedness. So if you have a product and somebody desperately needs it and they're willing to pay a little bit more, then hey, everybody's happy. So think about that when you buy this ammo. If you have 3,000 rounds of 5.56 and then, the times get crazy, there's no availability and people are willing to pay double for that, you might want to sell, 1,500 rounds of your surplus, and then when times cool back down, that may be 2 years, keep in mind, you can buy that much ammo plus whatever else you get with that amount. So that's something to keep in mind. This is an investment. It's not on the stock exchange. It's not a mutual fund, but the value of this box of ammo goes up and down depending on the times after you purchase it. So keep that in mind. So we covered 5.56, 9mm, and 22, but I have a couple bonus calibers for you. So these are super, super, super common in the United States, easy to find. Everybody has one of these guns probably. So if you need to share some ammo with a buddy or sell some to another person, like I mentioned earlier, shouldn't be hard to do. But two additional calibers that I would think about stockpiling, if you're able, have the financial means, would be 308 or 7.62 by 51. Similar calibers. Check your guns, like I said earlier. They may not shoot in one caliber in the other. So if you have a hunting rifle, don't shoot 7.62 by 51. Probably won't work. But if you have an M14 or like a H&K 91, you could probably shoot 308 Winchester out of it. But definitely check your gun and the manual for your gun. But 308 7.62 by 51 is the most common hunting rifle or battle rifle in the US, and that is another very, very common. It's a NATO round, so there's a lot of production about it. Production on that round, so definitely get a few boxes of those extra. If you have a 308 hunting rifle, get some more hunting ammo. It'd be a wise thing to do. And then second bonus caliber, 12 gauge shotgun. There's not a more versatile gun out there than a 12 gauge. You can kill a dove with it with birdshot. You can take the same shotgun and you can kill a moose with it with a slug. So a shotgun can kill any animal in North America humanely. So you may have to get really close with a slug compared to like a rifle, 50 yards compared to 200 or 300 yards. A moose, a grizzly bear, elk, a 12 gauge slug will kill any one of those. It's a 1 ounce piece of lead traveling 13, 14, 1500 feet per second. So the 12 gauge is a very, very practical gun. Birdshot, heavy birdshot, you get ducks, geese, game animals, rabbits, stuff like that. Buckshot, deer, obviously. Very effective personal protection. Buckshot, 12 gauge, double aught, triple aught, number 1, number 4 buck, all pretty good choices. And then, like I mentioned, the slug, great hunting round and also a very devastating personal defense round. So 12 gauge, it's pretty cheap. Birdshot, 8 shot, you can get 100 rounds for 20, 25 bucks. So, you'd be wise to keep several boxes of that on hand, several boxes of buckshot, several boxes of slugs, about $1 a round. So, have 20, 30, 50 rounds of each on hand. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea. But 12 gauge, like I said, very, very versatile. So, a lot of people have 12 gauges. So that's another common one I would keep on hand. Good bit of ammunition for that. So to wrap it up, this is not a video to be, get prepared because the Boogaloo's coming or the Civil War that, people always are talking about. This is not a video about that. It's to be prepared, to have enough ammunition on hand where that if there is another shortage that comes about, you can be prepared and have enough ammo on hand to continue shooting, continue training, and not worry, well, I better save what I have and not go shoot for the next 6 months because I don't want to waste any of my ammunition. You know, having a good amount on hand is always a good idea. You know, it's always a bad feeling when you're caught unprepared with anything, and I definitely don't want to be unprepared when it comes to my ammo. So keep your ammo stocked up. You know, when times are good, buy it. You know, don't eat out a few times, save up some money, buy an extra few boxes, a case, go in with your buddies, split the cost with them, split shipping. There's a lot of ways to do it. So just be smart about it. Keep enough on hand. You have to determine your own minimums and how much you want to keep on hand, but it's always a good idea to have more than you need. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what calibers you would recommend having a good supply of, and what calibers you think I should mention in my next video, and some calibers you think I missed. Let me know about them down in the comments below. We'll see you guys on the next video.